Hello, everybody. Looking to do some random repairs and building some batteries today. We may have some people coming in and out and joining. Get things set up here, ready to go. Hey, Biggie John. Should have more people hopping on here momentarily. Okay, see if I can switch my camera here. So, I'm gonna move over to the other desk here for a minute and take a look at what we got today. So we've got some battery boards that Ron from Ron's Computer Videos had made, and I'm actually going to be putting together some today. I have the board. This is the single battery version, the 3.6 volts. So we've got the board itself, we've got the battery holder, we've got a 3.6 volt battery, one of the 2032s. We have a Schottky diode and a little power switch so we can turn it on and off. So let's take a look here. And Ron actually, see if everybody can see that. Ron made these battery boards. There's a single and a 2 battery version. He actually put the Gerber files and stuff online on his GitHub repository for anybody who wants to get them made that can, DIY and put together their own battery replacements. This replaces the, hang on. This replaces the older can style batteries that tend to go bad and leak all over the board, causing extensive damage. These guys right here. So I removed the battery holder that holds that can style battery from the board, and I'm going to replace it and wire on one of these new battery board replacements. So let's put this on here and flip this over. Let's take a look here. Let's just tack that on just a smidge. There we go. Looks good. Double check here. Yep, that looks good. Put a little bit of solder in here so I could push down on this to get it to stay good. There we go. Now I can solder the rest of it on. Okay, we got those two soldered, so that's the battery socket. And Ron actually has little pictures of what this is supposed to look like and the orientation of the parts, which is fantastic, so you don't have to go and look it up online. You can just follow right along looking at the pictures. So there's the diode right there. Hey Trina, building one of Ron's battery boards. This is the single battery version. And it should be fairly easy to put together. Snipped off the excess. So there we've got the Schottky diode is on there and installed. Got that and the battery clip so far. Now, let's see what we got to do to get this switch put on here. And what I'm going to do to try and hold this to make it easier on myself is I'm just going to bend this over just a smidge on this far end, just to kind of hold it a little bit so it doesn't fall off, and it did anyway. So let's take a look here. Try and get a little bit of solder on the end of this iron here. Let's see if I can just tack on one corner, just enough to hold it. And that'll do. Okay, perfect. Now we can solder this on here. So, we'll put these right on here. Okay, that looks good. I'm actually going to take a little bit of isopropyl alcohol here with a Q-tip and kind of wipe off some of the flux that's from inside this solder, just to clean it up a little bit. Because as you solder these on, the flux wicks out a little bit, and it helps solder these onto the pads. Some pads are better than others. These actually aren't bad. Some you end up, even though it has flux in the solder itself, sometimes you end up having to add flux, in addition to that to get it to stick well. But this actually, these are made pretty well. Okay. So now we've put on the battery holder, the power switch, the Schottky diode, and that's it. Assembly is completely finished. So this is a remote battery number 1. Like I said, this was the single battery version, 3.6 volts. So we can snap our little 2032 battery in there. Look at that. CR2032. So now we've got a replacement battery here for this old CAN battery that we took out of the computer so it doesn't leak. Oh, good. Ryan will join shortly, Trina says. That's great. That way I'm not by myself. Joe wants to join, but he was actually 15 minutes away from dinner, so I'm a little early. So he'll join when he can. Okay, so there's that. So now what we can do is we can take these leads that I soldered onto the board already. And this is from an SE30. I'm going to strip a little bit of this wire back. And I'm just going to put this straight up through. The positive and negative terminals there. I already have them soldered onto the board, so they're already connected there. So I'm just going to set this board right like this, pull a little bit of solder out, and then we'll go ahead and solder. There's the negative and the positive. And again, I always like to cut off the excess. I don't want to have too much lead sticking out, especially since it could possibly touch other stuff later. I always try to clean that up a little bit. Grab another Q-tip and take this little bit of flux off of here that came off. So there we go. Now we have a battery replacement soldered in here for the SE30. So now we can locate this inside the case and should be good to go. Actually, let's do some testing here for a second, because I'm not entirely sure. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Trina. I had thought you already were. Give me 1 second here. And there you go. Should be good to go, Trina. Okay, so let's take this tester here. And I'm not sure which direction on these switches is actually on, so I'm going to test for myself just to kind of look so that I have an idea. So let's set this to DC voltage. Okay, it looks like I'm getting voltage there, so let's switch it the other direction and see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so on is to toward the battery. Okay, awesome. So that looks like it's working. Hey, Will, how are you? I put a link in the chat if you wanted to join, but I actually believe you traveled today. So hopefully you made it there safely by this point. Okay, so now we've added our remote battery on the SE30 board. Can't join an airport in Miami. Oh, good. Okay, not a problem, Will, not a problem. Well, at least you're stateside now, so that's a plus. So let's see what we can do here. Find a good spot. I don't have a good enough camera to get so you can see the other side of this SE30 here. Hang on a second. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm going to plug this in. And let's see what happens here. Let's figure out a good spot for this remote battery. So I ordered an upgrade kit, a RAM upgrade kit for this SE30, 128 megs of RAM. So they were 816 meg SIMs. And when I actually installed them, I couldn't get them to work. All I get's a fuzzy screen. And I tried them in 2 different SE30s and get the exact same result. So I don't think it's the SE30. Because the RAM that I have installed in both of them works fine and they boot right up to desktop with the original RAM installed. So I'm plugging this back in here. And make sure this works, and then we'll build some additional battery boards because I got a bunch of computers that need them. So let's get this back in. I'm gonna have to get a different camera set up so that everybody can see the other part of this bench. That would certainly make it a little more enjoyable, I think, that's for sure, than looking at nothing and just listening. But I'm almost finished here. Hang on. Okay, flip this back up. Let's see, what do we got here? There we go. And now I have a MacCon board for this SE30, so I've got to snap it back down into the PDS slot. Okay, so that's in. Okay, so there is that. That is done. That's put back together. So let's plug it in and see what happens here. Plug it in here. And let me grab a keyboard here. Yeah, so you got a little time left till you got to board your flight, but at least you're there on time. Okay, so I got the keyboard, so let's plug this in. My battery board's turned on. There's the power. Oh, there's the chime. That's a good sign. I could see the mouse on the screen, the cursor, so that's a plus. Let's see if she boots back up. Of course, I think on the SE30 it'll still boot whether the battery works or not, I believe. Let's see here. Ryan will be on shortly, so I know he's got some other goodies he got in the mail today. So we'll see what happens and what he brings along with him. Okay, so it's saying. Oh, well, it would help if I plugged the hard drive in. Okay, there we go. Hard drive's plugged in. Power switch. Let's see what happens here. It chimes. Okay, so there's that other battery holder. We got a happy Mac. Perfect. So we're booting. So we'll just verify it counts the RAM correctly again, because I put the original RAM back in after I couldn't get that 128 meg upgrade kit to work. I have 8 16 megabyte SIMs, and they don't seem to, well, at least the SE30 doesn't seem to like them. Let's see what we get here about this Mac. So we've got 8 megs, which is, you know, it is what it is. I'll get some more RAM for it here shortly. The 16 meg SIMs did not work correctly, so let's shut down. So yeah, okay, perfect. So the SE30 is working just fine. So go ahead and unplug that, and let's check out some more boards. Okay, put this back on the floor. Okay, so I've got this case here that I use a lot of these cases actually for parts and parts bins and projects and things like that. I gotta figure out how to zoom out on this camera. Let me try something. Sorry guys, I don't mean to make anybody sick moving this thing. It's a pain in the butt trying to orient this camera and get it to stay correctly. Hey Dave, how are you? You're more than welcome to join. I posted the link in the Discord if you want. I am building some battery boards that Ron had made. So let's see if we can get a better view of this. So we've got quite a bit of these packs of the battery cells, these 2032s. I ordered a bunch of them on Amazon. They seem to be one of the best places to find these guys. I ordered a ton of these sockets, you know, for the battery holders. I've got a bunch of the 2 battery version of the board, the single battery version of the board, got quite a few of those as well, and then I've got the Schottky diodes and the power switches. So this entire kit here is just for Ron's batteries, the 1 and 2 versions of the battery. Now I do need a 2 version of the battery for my Macintosh 2. That takes 2 batteries, and when I actually took that apart the other day, you know the batteries are good when they say made in West Germany. So that's a little old. So that was due for an upgrade. There was 2 batteries in the Macintosh 2, but I believe the rest of them actually have the single battery versions of the board. So we'll see if we can get a few of these put together, because I can definitely use them. So let's put the parts off to the side here and grab some more pieces here. So let's take a look. We're going to do the 2 battery version, since I just made a single battery version just a few minutes ago. And like I said, even on the second version of this with the double battery, Ron did a great job of laying out this board, for 1, but 2, he actually masked on all of the images of the components. So it's fairly easy. There's no way you can get it wrong, because the shape fits exactly what the shape of the component is. Like, so you can't put it upside down, because if you were to put it upside down, then the outline doesn't match up or, you know, line up with this. So there's only one way to put it together on these. He even put the direction of the diodes themselves, these Schottky diodes. Oh, let's see who's here now. There's Will. Hey, Will. How are ya? Ah, well, nice of you to join us. I got to get a better camera that has better zoom and zoom out capabilities. I can't figure out how to zoom out on this camera. There's no buttons on the camera itself besides to shut the lens cover. But yeah, so I'm actually putting together some of these boards that I got from Ron. They're 1 and 2 battery replacements. I've got an entire bins of them and the components to put them together. I ordered 100 of each of the boards. So I'm assembling a bunch of them to replace batteries in my computers here. I already put together a single battery board that I just put into one of my SE30s here in the room here, but I need to make a dual battery one for my Macintosh 2 because the batteries that I pulled out of it were made in West Germany, so they're a little old. So I got a pile of batteries here. I want to get these boards put together, but I was complimenting Ron and his design layout. He actually stenciled and put the masking on of each orientation of the component, like he did an exact outline of them. So, you know, you can't put it on backwards. There's only one way for it to go and for everything to line up correctly. So that's awesome. That means less instructions needed, or hopefully people won't have a hard time putting these together, you know, because Ron did make the Gerber files available on his GitHub repository for anybody who wants to actually get some made, from where was it I got these made? Same place Ron did. JLC PCB. They're the ones who actually did these. And they did a good job, and they actually came pretty fast. I was actually impressed how quickly they showed up. So they did a pretty good job. I think they look good. Oh, Will's got some Starbucks. That sounds good. That sounds good. So I've got all my parts in this parts bin that I set up specifically just for Ron's batteries. I try to keep things for projects together. Even though some of the parts actually overlap, and I'll use, like the same value resistors or capacitors on several different projects. When it comes to something somebody made, like I have one of these bins specifically for the Blue Scuzzy V1s. I've got a ton of the boards and all the components that go to it, all in one place. So when I go to make some or pull some stuff out to put them together, I don't have to go digging around. I can just pull out the bin. It's got every part that I need in there organized and put, in its place, usually in the order that I use them a lot of cases, just to simplify things. So you're not rooting around, digging around, trying to find things, or, hey, I know I have that, but where did I put it? That happens a lot for me. So, okay, I got everything laid out for this one. So, again, Ron laid these out great. There's only one way that you can put them together, so there's no risk of making the mistake of putting it together backwards. So that helps out tremendously for someone who may not have done much electronics assembly or components, putting components together and stuff like that. So Ron did a good job to help with anybody really who wants to build the board, as a hobbyist. Even somebody new getting into it can easily put these together without worrying. Okay, so I got the first battery holder on there. Oh, and I heard a beep. Let's see who's at the door. Dave, how are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Good. Hi, Will.
Will's joining us from the airport in Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going on his vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just putting together some battery boards today.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
got
you got the stock on those, man. That's a bunch.
Oh yeah, well I got a ton of computers, so it's easier for me to. Well, it's even more cost effective too, ordering in large quantities.
Oh yeah.
Than let's say I ordered like 20 and I ended up needing like 28, and then I've got to put another order in, and then I'm waiting longer and paying shipping again and
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
that.
for
So it's
sure.
easier, when it comes to something like this, and same thing with the Blue Scuzzies. Like I knew I needed a bunch, so
Yeah.
it was easier for me to order 100 at a time and say, hey, I have spares if ever some break. I don't have to worry about getting parts or pieces. I can
Yeah.
put it all together and be back up and running.
Yeah. That's good. I know Ron and not too far future, we're just all going to do a community stream putting his battery thingamajiggies together. So I'm
Oh, that's
saying,
awesome.
so I'm saving. I've got about 6 of them that he sent, or more than that he sent me. So I'm just saving those to put
Gotcha.
together when we want to do that. So
Well, I should
yeah,
have enough when he does the stream because, like I said, I ordered 100 of the single and 100 of the double and all the parts to put them together.
yeah,
So that way I knew I had enough because I've got quite a few batteries to change.
yeah,
Because I've been just, as I do repairs, I've been actually just pulling them out and leaving them out. I haven't been bothering putting, replacements in yet
yeah,
because I knew I wanted to do something like this.
hmm yeah. Those are pretty nice. I'm
No, he did
impressed.
like I said, he did a great job with
Yeah,
these. Like
he
I said,
did.
even with tracing the components so that it's easy for somebody to not make a mistake. You don't have to go and look at instructions over and over. Everything's
Hmm
laid out exactly the way it goes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's pretty
that's
cool.
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So I got one side assembled.
yeah. They go together pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I only needed, well, as of right now, I only needed one 2 battery board just for my Macintosh too, because it
Hmm
actually had 2 batteries on board.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad
Um,
you got those running. That's great.
Yeah, no. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them already recapped and good to go. I've still got 3
Nice.
other ones that I've got to do, but I'll get to them. So yeah, I've got a stack of Mac 2s. Yeah, I have the big Macintosh 2 at the bottom. It's the biggest over here. And then I've got a 2VX, a 2CI, a 2CX, and then I
Oh
also
boy.
have a 2X and a 2VI here as well. So I still got to buy a 2FX. That's the only one I'm looking for still that I don't
Well,
have.
you're gonna have the whole collection there.
Exactly. That's my plan. One of each. One of
Okay.
each. Yeah, these are
Well,
actually fast to assemble. I'm telling you. There's
yeah,
three
and
components for each side, and that's it.
yeah,
So
they
yeah,
should all
these
be
are.
easy.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
So
His
the
go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Like I say, his TTL board is a third revision of it. That thing goes together really quick too, because there's a few things that's already mounted up on it, which is nice.
Now, what was that for? Because I saw you putting in the one in your what was it, an SE
Mac Plus,
or a Mac
yeah,
Plus? Okay, Mac
yeah.
Plus.
So basically, it's for 128K, 512, Mac Plus, SE, and there's a couple other machines that can go in. But basically, what it does is it takes the analog output and
Mm-hmm.
video output, and it goes through that board, and then you can pipe that through. It's like a DB9 connector, and then if you get one of these little things that convert it from not VGA, I forget, but anyway, it converts it from that to HDMI, and you
Oh,
can
no kidding.
output it on a regular flat screen. So that
Oh, that's
way,
awesome.
yeah, so that way, because as you know, when you look at a tube, you get all the
Mm-hmm.
retrace lines and everything on it,
Yeah.
unless you got a camera that can really sync up with it. But a lot of them,
No, they
at
don't do a
least,
very good job.
they just they're too high a frequency,
I ended
and
up buying. Oh, what were they? These boxes right here. They are Extron RGB to HDMI boxes. So I
mm-hmm.
ended up buying some of those so that I can put the video straight onto the screen. Hey Ryan.
Hey Ryan, that's good. We,
So I bought those Extron boxes to put the video on the screen. So this worked pretty well.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's gonna be my next thing. I have a capture card. I just don't have a good means of you know
Of converting it.
scaling it. Yeah, so that's um, and that one that Tech Amper showed us on that one Sunday stream.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm gonna try to get a hold of, because that thing, my God, that thing does everything.
Now where did she
So
get that?
I think she got it. It was either off of eBay or Amazon.
Oh, no kidding.
Um,
I'll have to message her.
Hopefully she'll join in this Sunday, and then
Yeah, that'd
I'll
be
ask
great.
her again, because I already forgot the name of it. I'd have to go back to
That's me too.
so,
If I don't look it up or write it down, literally when I hear it, it's gone. I'll have to
yeah.
ask again.
I use post-it notes all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, absolutely.
But yeah. So yeah. Well, I tell you what, that just was really frustrating last weekend. We had no internet, no 5G. It was a big outage. Um,
Yeah, that's
I was
terrible.
basically out for like 24 hours, and it was just
Oy, oy, oy.
messed up.
That's
But
frustrating.
anyways, yeah, and then but I'm glad Will picked it up and was able to have it for Sunday. That's good.
Oh yeah, no. It was great. Everybody hung out, had a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing on yours. People hop on, people hop off, as they
Mm-hmm.
get time throughout the day. So
Yep.
that's what's nice.
Well, last year we did it. We did a 12-hour live stream. It was a Halloween live
Oh
stream. It
wow.
was a couple days before Halloween. We're going to do it again this year.
There we go.
Justin's last live stream, I had put it in the chat. We're going to be doing it again, but we are going to run it actually 11 hours and 30 minutes, because what happens is YouTube, when it's recording, They
Mhm.
have a limit how much they can record. And
Okay.
before I did that, I asked them, and I got 3 different answers. So the last time when I asked them, yeah, it's like 11 plus hours. And so
So
we
you figure you're
did,
safe at 11 and a half.
yeah, yeah, because it actually
So
the stream actually ended 12 hours and 6 minutes, and YouTube stopped recording it at 11 hours and 48 minutes. Yeah,
like, does the video just cut off? Like if
yep,
someone was to watch it later, like it just cuts
just
at
like
that
if you're
point?
doing it. Yeah, just like if you're live streaming, you hit the disconnect. And
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can, Ryan. Yeah.
Okay. My headphone microphone is not working, so I have to use the microphone built in one of my cameras.
Huh. I gotta figure out how to zoom in and out on this Anker camera. There's no control on the camera itself besides to shut the camera on or off, like the lens cover.
I think you need to use the actual Anchor app.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna have to do.
I was going to say, is there an app for that? It usually
There probably is.
But it doesn't
I
call home, thankfully.
just plugged it in and that was it. So yeah, I definitely need to figure something else out for that. But yeah, that was pretty quick. So we've already put together the single board, and I installed it in the SC30 already. And then here's the double board. I always have a hard time trying to orient because I'm looking back at the computer behind me. Yeah, so here's the double board. So we got that put together. So that's awesome. That was super fast.
Nice. Yeah, it's a like I said, it's a nicely polished kit. You know, I mean,
yes, it is. No, that's perfect.
He did a lot of thought went into that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So is that the Satanic Mac?
That's Ron.
Ron.
Board.
Oh, Ron's kit. Okay.
Yeah, he made a single and a double version of the board. So I put together a single one just a few minutes ago and put it in my SE30. Well, one of the SE30s. And it works fine. And then there is this double one that I'm going to put in the Mac 2 to replace the boards on it, because what I had to do was I actually had some leads hooked up to my test bench power supply and jump start it with 3.6 volts from the bench power supply. So it's a little bit of a hassle running wires and popping the case to turn it on. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to put batteries back into it and have it actually functional on its own without having to have life support attached to it.
Have a big 6-volt dry cell battery.
Yeah. One of those lantern batteries. Just strap it to the side. Yeah. It's like, what's that? That's an official Mac upgrade. It's an official Mac upgrade.
Right on the side of it there.
That's right. Big Velcro.
So let's see. You, Ryan?
Not a whole lot. I have a computer that I'm going to start working on here now shortly. I'm going to pull a Trina. Friends of mine reached out to me. His mom got locked out of their computer, so I can do a password recovery on it. Well, I figured I'll play a little bit of Star Wars before, seeing today is May 4th.
Yeah.
Officially Star Wars Day.
Yep. Trina, I can see the chat now. I can't see it from across the room. I can't see it from across the room.
I thought you were going to join Ryan. Ryan joined, but I thought you were going to join too, Trina, if I joined. So where are you at?
She's cuddling in bed with a cat, I'm imagining.
I see how you are. Okay. I have my Reba over there laying in the bed there. Frederica's laying down here. Snick's right down here, right beside my Mac here. And her is way over there. You can't see it. She's right there, beside the right there. And then I don't know where Smirky is, but anyway.
My Jazzy had his 8 teeth removed yesterday.
Oh.
Some dental surgery done. Got a little.
Mm-hmm. How's it doing?
Good. Eating like a horse, so it's a good sign.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be in any pain, so that's also good.
Yeah. I know when Reba had her dental stuff done, they really didn't want to do it because of her age, but she was having a hard time eating because she was just chewing on one side of the mouth.
Yeah.
And I could tell it was really bothering her. So, and about 6 months before that, we took her in because she had like a urinary tract infection. So, anyway, they said, yeah, she needs to, her teeth are pretty bad. So they did it. They took out, unfortunately, they took the 4 fangs out, which I wish they had.
Oh, does she have a sticker little tongue out?
Oh, no, she does good, but I just always like it because she'd always have like her lip up like this on her thing, once in a while. But no, it didn't seem to slow her down. I mean, because they say, their gums toughen up and they can, but I get the, it's a particular brand of cat food that's kind of crunchy on the outside, but it's soft centers, so it's easier for her to eat. And of course, they get their wet food twice a day too. So
right. Not spoiled
anyway,
at all.
I am looking on. I am on the stream. What? Reading the chat. What is she saying? Look it up on your phone. Are you writing a book, Frank?
Yes, I am. Hang on. I have to email a client. They emailed. Let's see.
What time is it there, Frank?
Some of us have to work.
5:16 p.m.
You're off for the day.
Yeah, I am. I'm just replying back to an email they sent me.
Hey, Ron. How you doing, buddy? Yeah,
Ron!
Dave's Vintage Cat Food Tech. You got it.
Important.
But she's going to be 19 years old here pretty soon.
Oh, God love her.
Yeah.
Ron, you're more than welcome to join if you want.
Growing up, I always had cats that lived to be like 20, so I have this, I guess, unnatural understanding that all cats live to be 20 or older.
Yeah.
So, lost our Elton at 15, so I was devastated because I thought that was way too soon.
Yeah, we, a lot of times our cats, 10, 13, and they're indoor cats. I mean, they get their shots and everything, but Reba has outlasted everybody. I mean, she's been to every house we ever had, and she has known just about all the cats that we ever had, and so I mean, she's the matriarch here, So.
King, the Grand Poobah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's very skinny though. She's lost a lot of weight because she has a hyperthyroid, and
God love her.
Yeah, but she's healthy other than that. I mean, but she's like a horse.
Yeah, I saw Ron's chat, but I'm wondering if maybe he joined on the Old World Tech stream.
Oh, maybe.
And not my stream, I'm guessing. It doesn't exactly tell you, like on here on StreamYard. Yeah, it should, but it doesn't. So, like when I reply, it's showing both.
Right.
But I can uncheck, one or the other, I guess. But that really doesn't help a lot. Yeah, he says he's here.
Oh, he's here. Okay, good.
No, is he backstage? Is that what you mean by here, or is he?
No, because it's not showing up on my side.
Okay.
I'm guessing he's on the Old World Tech Friday stream. Because I streamed to both.
Right.
Yep, he's on the old technical Veners. That makes sense. That's why Trina can't see it. It is very confusing when you do multi-stream, especially when a lot of the participants are also streaming, because the chats all show up in StreamYard, but it doesn't exactly say where they're coming from. So it's a little weird.
A little confusing.
I imagine they'll make a patch for that at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's probably a common thing.
Probably.
So I found Seagate Iron Wolf Pro 22 terabyte drives for $362.99.
Good deal.
Newegg, yeah, that seems like a pretty decent deal.
So what I would suggest is, what are you using for chassis?
I have a custom built one, an Asus ROG Strix build that I did a couple years ago.
How many drive bays does it have?
6 or 8.
And how many SATA devices can it comfortably hold?
Should be at least 6 or 8.
Okay.
I would imagine.
So I would say your best bet is to get.
I looked at buying a 1U server, like Craft Computing did.
Yeah.
But the depth is the issue, because I want it to be able to. Well, I mean, I guess the depth is an issue if I get a server, because I want to replace the big actual full size racks with a wall mount one at the new house, at least for now until I get the basement done.
Yeah.
So I want something that's gonna fit in a half depth.
Right.
And what do you have now?
So now I've got a few different things. So I have a Cisco UCS server that's got a ton of drives in it that I run ESXi virtual machines on. And then I've got a 16 terabyte NAS that's up here as well, a Seagate one, but it's getting closer to the point that I should replace it. So I want to build something new, Unraid. Right? Is that what it is, Ryan?
Yep.
Unraid. Something newer that will replace actually both, because you can create containers and VMs on that as well.
Yep.
So it simplifies things by making it more complex.
Of course.
There's always trade-offs. But yeah, so I'd like to, I can reuse that gaming machine that I don't use. Or I'd like to find a half depth server. But then again, I'm also going to be limited on the number of drives I can put in that.
I mean, ultimately, we can.
I can always put in more.
Or we can go with like a what's it called, a PCI Express backplane
Sure.
of some sort with 2 or 3U or 3 or 4U array, basically.
Yep.
So I've done all this. This is all turned on. Where the hell do I go now, guys? Where the hell?
Now I have some NetApp disk clusters, like chassis, that I can always hook up too. But again, I'm trying to downsize space footprint.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, you're probably going to go about 3 of those drives, 3 of the 22s.
Probably 4.
4. So you run 3 with 1 with a hot spare, or are you just going to raw dog it and have no?
No, I was going to do 1 hot spare.
Okay.
And then put in the NVMe PCI cards.
Yeah, for the cache.
For the cache, and then some type of SSD or something for the OS or USB. I think you said it was.
It's just USB. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, ultimately, an internal USB header is also popular, because you don't have this stupid drive sitting on the back.
Let me see.
Yeah,
I don't understand. R2, can you help me?
Let me look up the motherboard.
That's what I've been contemplating. I'm going to have to go to either a NAS system or some type of rack system or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all my crap, I went overboard. So all my crap is extremely power and resource intensive, and it produces a crap ton of heat and noise. So the the rack is downstairs, like in the basement that's under the house, and if you open the door, like you'll hear it.
Yeah.
Like it's loud.
There's
Because
no
like
need
I
in
have,
this day and age.
yeah, I have a Cisco Nexus switch chassis that's in there that's 10 gig, and it's loud and it uses a lot of resources. So I'm gonna be switching a lot of that stuff out to Unify. Like I have an actual, Cisco wireless LAN controller. I'm gonna replace that with the Unify and then get different access points. Because right now I use Cisco access points like the commercial enterprise ones. But I want to
Eddie
switch
Warbucks,
everything out.
sir.
Switch everything out to something a little simpler.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I just find the
Absolutely.
Unify stuff just plug and play. It's good to go. There's no mucking around. It just works.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm looking at. I don't want to get it too complicated. I just want to be able to just, get it set up and we're good.
Yeah.
That's like, so when I started the DSL service provider several years back, we actually bought out equipment. We tried to keep it as cheap as possible with Upstart, which actually did work out well. We were able to do it. I had to drive over 6 hours to Cleveland to pick up a bunch of Dell servers that were upgraded. A company upgraded and replaced all their older ones. So we bought used servers, like a rack full. Like we drove up and picked them up, and then we bought some Lucent Portmasters, for some of the older dial-up stuff, and then we used Cisco ISR routers for our E1 connections and our actual internet pool and all that stuff. And then we had PRI lines that came in for customer connections inbound. And then we used all free software. We used a free billing software we found, and then we used Radius server and then Bind for DNS, and we use Ubuntu Linux, for a lot of the systems that we used internally. Email, we use this email and stuff like that. So we used as much free or very, very low cost stuff as we could, starting out.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
But it was cool, all of us working on the project together, trying to get this, rack of equipment up and running. And then we just kind of expanded from there and got a little bit better equipment, and kept upgrading things as we went.
Well, that's the nice thing about that. Yeah, you can kind of upgrade it on the fly once you get it going. Just integrate it in there. But yeah, cool. So how's the Bamboo printer working out for you?
It actually works great. I actually like it a lot. It's actually pretty quick. It's pretty decent. The print quality is very good. The only thing is I don't know enough about what's the word? Support structures, for 3D printing. Like sometimes, like if it's got overhang or like, it's gonna print in the air, you've got to like make support structures for it. So I don't know a lot about that stuff. So I gotta research a little more on some of those for some designs. They take I have to build support structures, and I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, Javier, you should talk to Javier, man. He's the guru on all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Him and Joe. Joe knows a lot on it too, but
yeah. I am going to swap out. So I stream from my M1 Studio, and I do most of the other stuff from my M1 Studio. But I have that OptiPlex 9020 that I picked up, Ryan. I'm actually going to, it's got an SSD and everything in it. So I'm going to wipe that and reinstall Windows on it and actually use that for OBS and everything.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, because everybody has said OBS works better on Windows.
No, 100% does.
So I think a lot of the streaming issues that I've had would be good.
Like I said, I had the like I told you before, I still have it on here. I never use it though. I had the Streamlabs.
Yeah.
And that's the Mac version basically for the OBS. And it's but it's it's not without its problems either. It's again, I don't like to have to put a lot of effort in trying to figure out a day's worth of work, trying to just to make it work.
Yeah,
I like,
exactly.
I want something a little bit more intuitive. So
Sure. No, that makes absolute sense. Yeah, it's a hassle to have to go through all the frustration of getting it to work just to
yeah,
make it work every time.
well, and the thing is running that natively, you can't have people join in unless
Yep.
you go through StreamYard and then do
Yep.
it that way, the back end on it. But yeah, but I mean, it is cool in the respect that you can do, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Where StreamYard, you're limited in that respect.
Hmm.
Like one of the main things, obviously, is like sharing screen. Sorry, Snick. Sharing multiple screens or cameras. So much easier to do it on OBS or Streamlabs versus
Absolutely.
StreamYard. So that's a big advantage there. But StreamYards, again, it just works most of the time. Not, and it's, and of course, then if you're on OBS, if you want to crank out 4K, you got the bandwidth, you can do it.
Sure.
But,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but there's always pros and cons.
Hmm.
I'd say probably the Streamlabs is definitely 100% more customizable
Sure.
than the StreamYard. But again, StreamYard, for what I need it works just fine. So
I looked up that float plane that Linus Tech Tips, the Linus Media Group built, and you actually have to request information. Like they don't post anything about cost or how to do anything. Like you have to actually submit an inquiry, and someone will contact you.
Yep.
So I was like, that sounds expensive. That and I don't. That and I'm not 100% sure. Can you view live on that?
Oh yeah, they do live stuff, but it's
Okay. I didn't know if they did or not. Interesting.
stupid place to put fuel pump controls.
are you using the keyboard on that, right? Or are you actually using the controller?
Oh, keyboard.
Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, no problem.
Oh yeah, of course. I thought he was dead.
Which Star Wars game is that?
It's Jedi Knight Outcasts.
Oh, okay. Jedi Outcast. So did you get?
It's fun.
Did you ever
It came out-
get all the caps for your your EMAC?
Yeah, I got the caps. I haven't done anything with the EMAC since. 1 second. There we go. I haven't done anything else with it since. There we go. It's still pretty. I have to like make a pad because I lost a pad on the one area of the board. Stuff here, left, right, and center. So yeah, I have a couple of pads to replace and a few other odds and sods to fix. This is sort of my first big, thick board soldering job. So, but what I did order was I have all the caps to fix my my Ford Ranger ECU.
Oh,
So,
okay.
my 1990 Ford Ranger is got bad capacitors. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It only has 3 capacitors, so of course I ordered 30 because it seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah, funny you mentioned bad capacitors on the 2005, 6, 7, and 8 Generation 2 Priuses, the combination meter, it suffers from bad capacitors. So what happens is it will just be totally black. So the only
Really?
way you can get it to come back on is unhook the ground off the battery in the back and wait about a minute, do it, and it'll come back.
Okay.
So there was a and there's only 3 caps on there, and
Of course,
so
always the way.
if I well and this one also, it suffers from the incorrect EEPROM on it. So when it gets up to 299,999, that's all the higher it goes.
Oh.
And that was a defect that Toyota knew about, but they didn't disclose it to about 5 years after the fact.
Of course.
Yeah, and so they wouldn't offer to repair it. So then they eventually said, okay, well, we'll pay half the cost. But the thing is you take it out, all right? You send it to them while your car's inoperable, because you have to tear the whole dash out to get it out.
Of
And
course.
you got everything else unplugged on it. You got to unplug all the airbags and everything, all the harnesses to get it out. And yeah, so it's real. And I've had that dash out 2 or 3 times because I had to put a different combination meter in it before I knew what the issue was. But the bad part about that is whatever the mileage was off the other vehicle, that's what you started out with. It wouldn't read.
Right.
So when you get these things reprogrammed, it will reread the mileage on your transmission on the black box. It'll tell you, because the black box is the keeper of all the info on your car.
Right. It's the fact.
And it'll communicate with that, and it'll actually display the correct mileage. And all it is just it has to be reprogrammed. It's got the program.
So this is my concern with all the new electric cars. It's like they're disposable. Like we're throwing them out, right? They're like cell phones. There won't be fixing them. They'll be just like, oh, Tesla will be like, well, it's 5 years old. Time for a new one.
Hey, mine's a hybrid. It's 2005. I'm not throwing it away. It still works good.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. But I fear for the current generation.
Yeah.
The first, like, you ever realize that when the Prius came out in '98, I think it was, cars could still be fixed then. So the idea was that you had to make it at least a little bit repairable.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what happens today. I was watching. I got Luke, God love him, from Console 5, sent me another package of capacitors.
A third set?
Second set.
Oh.
But I think he may have padded it a little bit. There seems to be a lot more in this bag than the first set that came. So, and he filled it with candy.
Oh, geez.
So, Luke, if you're watching, I'm sure you're not, but if you're watching, thank you so much for the plethora of candy. And if anybody needs I'll keep the analog bore cap, but I have if anyone needs a compact portable power supply recap kit, I've got 2.
Maybe he was just going by sheer volume, like the amount of capacitors that might actually make it to you would be greater.
Right, yeah, it's a shotgun principle.
Exactly.
Them, and eventually you'll get
enough will get through that you can recap the entire thing.
Yeah.
So that 128 meg RAM kit that I bought, I can't get it to work. I put it in the SE30 and it just gives me distorted video.
That's Ron's fault, but.
So I grabbed another SE30 and tried it, and same exact thing. So I don't think it's the SE30.
So I got an order in from DigiKey.
Awesome. What'd you get?
Apparently I didn't read very well. I expect
Mr. McIntosh, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Mr. McIntosh.
Hey, how are you?
Nice, thank you.
I thought I ordered Bodge wire, and I thought I was getting a lot of it. Apparently, it's not. I ordered 10 meters. Which you think,
Oh.
10 meters of wire, that's going to be,
Uh-huh.
30 odd feet.
It's like the size of a washer.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, I will probably never use all of it.
But still,
But still, it's just it was $11. I thought.
did
for
they
$11.
package? Did they package it like cereal, where it says on the box, "This is done by volume, not by weight,"
Right? No,
or whatever it is, or weight, not by
Yeah.
volume?
It's mostly air.
Yeah.
But I have bodge wire, so now I can fix my. Tomorrow we're actually
Awesome.
teaching soldering in computer science class, so I will be finishing my my LC2 board repair.
Awesome.
I also got some new solder. I went with a higher lead content solder.
Uh-huh. Now, are you buying the Kester solder?
This is Chip Quick.
I've
It's
never
cheap.
heard of that.
It's like I think it's DigiKey's like in-house brand.
Ah, gotcha.
Not DJ Shores. Drake, I think, suggested this to me, or
Yeah.
One Bit Fever Dreams. One of them sent it to me and said, "Buy this." So I said, "Okay."
Dave, I got some lube today I'm going to try.
Yeah, some cow lube.
DuPont Molly Coat.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have to preface my statement. He said he went to the dairy.
I did. I went to the dairy plant and got some lube.
I got some lube. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, is that the stuff they put on their arms before they, reach into the cow?
Yeah, no. So this is supposed to be really good for plastics and rubber materials and stuff like that. They also use it in molds. So like if you're gonna make a mold of something, this is good release agent. It doesn't
Mold release, yeah.
dry out or bond. Yeah. So it's got good. This says high dielectric strength, low volatility, moisture resistant, good thermal oxidation, and chemically stable. Lubricant for plastics and elastomers. Release agent for plastic extrusion. Release agent for adhesives, mold break-in, mold release, all that good stuff. But the maintenance guys there said that this works great and it doesn't dry out, like a lot of the other ones do. So I got a tube of it today, and I'm going to try it on some floppy disk rebuilds, some
Nice.
floppy drives. Because they say it's really good for plastic and everything like that, too.
Yeah.
It
Nice.
doesn't harm any plastics or break down anything.
I also apparently clicked this button twice. I have some solder wick.
Solder wick? That's
Well,
always
they sent-
handy.
Well, they sent two.
But
So-
you go through it faster than you
Yeah.
realize. You
You'll
do.
go through that faster than
Yep.
the solder.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's not cheap. Like, of
Hmm.
all the consumables for soldering, I think this is the most expensive.
Yeah, solder wick, and it comes in all different sizes and stuff too,
Yeah.
based on what you're trying to do.
And that one you got, Ryan, is that already got flux in it? Because a lot of the solder wick has some
Mhm.
flux in it.
No clean wick. So I don't know what that means.
Hmm.
Maybe. Doesn't say.
I feel like mine says that too. Now I still have that tube of Amtech flux to send you when I send you all this other crap. I got that Amtech, the stuff that Bruce uses and I use, and a few of the
I
other
can't
people
get here in
do.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get it in Canada, so yeah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
put it in. I'm gonna put it in the computer and send it.
It's like for the longest time we couldn't get. I guess suppliers we couldn't get. What's it called? Dioxin. It was like
Yeah, which is weird.
$45, $50 a can.
Hmm.
I was like, why is somebody driving down to the States buying it and bringing it across the border? Like, why is it so expensive? And now it's gone back to regular, like $17 a can, which is the acceptable
So
part.
I've switched from a regular Amazon account to an Amazon business account.
Do you find it much different in prices?
Some things yes, and some things the same. But what's interesting is today I got my first email, your monthly spend statement, and I opened it and I had to read it twice, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then I'm like counting in my head, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's probably right," because I forgot I ordered like over $200 worth of filament for the 3D printer, the Polymaker.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually it was cheaper to order it from Amazon than Polymaker itself, and it was
Right.
next day shipping, from Amazon Prime. So it's like, yeah. But this lube, I looked up on Amazon, is $28 a tube. So I was like, holy cow!
Wow. board were you trying to put into SE? You put it was a kit. What was it like a?
Oh,
RAM?
memory. So I
Memory
bought
upgrade.
128 megs of RAM
Okay.
to upgrade the SE30 to 128 megs. So they're 8 16 megabyte sticks, and they're brand new. But it doesn't work. So I messaged them and I asked them. I said, "Hey, I've tried it in a few different SE30s here that I have, and they all do the exact same thing. It's a very fuzzy, pixelated screen when you turn it on. No chime, no nothing. Just a weird fuzzy screen." And I've tried it with all the RAM, half the RAM, 2 sticks of RAM, 1 stick of RAM. I went through the whole thing trying to see if I need to step up maybe, because I've had that happen before. But nope, nothing. Put the original RAM back in, boot's fine, goes right to the desktop. So it's for some reason it just doesn't like these 16 megabyte sticks.
I know the SC30 is kind of picky on what you put in it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking now. It says it's certified for use in SE30.
I'm just trying to think.
So I don't know.
Let's see. I think it's non-parity in that one, right?
Yeah, this is non-parity.
Okay.
Let me double check.
And there's 7.
Yeah, right here. So
5.
FPM non-parity, 60 nanosecond sim, 30 pin.
And you bought it pre-built, or you built it yourself?
For Mac SE30. No, already. It's from a company, Memory Masters.
Yeah. I never had a problem with them.
Yeah, so I messaged him and asked. That's why I said I messaged him, after I tried it today, and I was like, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. And I told him the same thing. I tried it in a couple different ones. They both do the exact same thing. So I don't think that it's a problem with the machine, because both will fully boot, otherwise, without this RAM in. So I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Have you tried to put, how much memory before you try to put that 120 upgrade in it do you have in your SE now?
Oh, 8 megs is what's in it
8
now.
megs.
In the SE30, yeah. So, like I said, I tried with 1 stick of 16. I've tried with 2 sticks of 16. No go.
And so, and that's the first 4 banks that you have populated on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you tried to populate the other 4 banks with original RAM too to see if it sees it?
No. Because like I said, it does, like when I have that RAM in, it just, like I said, no chime, just gray screen with fuzzy dots everywhere.
Yeah.
So something definitely odd.
Something's not compatible there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that something's not right. Or maybe they sent me the wrong, RAM.
Yeah, because
things happen. I don't know.
Well, oh yeah, well I've never had a problem with them. I mean, everything I've ever ordered from them.
Was it new old stock, or is it something they create?
No, it says new with lifetime warranty.
Oh, so probably new one.
Yes, I'm sure they're fine, but like I said, I'm guessing maybe they sent me the wrong RAM.
Could be.
It's 30 pin sim, but it might be wrong. I don't know.
You said you got garbage on the screen, right?
Yeah.
That leads me to believe it's a bad RAM, like memory module.
Yeah, but what's weird is like I opened all of them, because what I did was when I got it, when it came up with just, when I had 2 sticks in and I still didn't get, anything besides that, I was like, well, okay, maybe one of these 2 sticks is bad. So I opened up other ones and popped in and tried it. Same thing. But like I said, I put the normal, 1 meg sticks in and boots just fine. No problem. So I'm thinking they might have just sent me the wrong thing. Because there's nothing written on there that says, which, how much nanoseconds. But the online said 70. I think it was, hang on. 60 nanoseconds. So I was wondering if maybe that was wrong. They sent me the wrong ones.
Okay. Well, it could be. I mean, it has to be so many nanosecond or lower
so
on
Mac SE30. That, and I was wondering, I have stock ROMs, so I didn't know if maybe like but it's got clean 32-bit addressing on an SE30, right? So I don't think that's a
Only
problem.
someone we could ask.
Let's see.
No,
Mac
SE30. No, I don't believe it's clean ROM. You have to put a different ROM in it.
So maybe I need to put like a Rominator or something in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean,
I
like I
had-
said, that's possible. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I had to use when I had my SE30. I can't remember. It was a Mac 2 FX, I think. One of the Mac 2s, you can use the ROM out of that. That will give you clean ROM for the SE30. It's the same, it's the same pin. You plug it in there, and then you can run actual 32-bit addressing on it. I can't
Interesting.
remember what you can Google it, and it'll tell you which ones you can use out of what. You probably got one in your machines there. You can pop in there.
That's what I was gonna say. I could probably steal one out of one of the other machines. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's socketed.
Because the ROM that's in the SE30 now is a 256K. Let's see. There we go, low-end Mac. That's what I want to see. Mm-hmm.
I think Trina fell asleep.
Probably. Okay, here you go. So it says, before upgrading beyond 8 megabytes, be sure you have mode 32 on your hard drive. Without it, you will not be able to use 32-bit addressing or 7.5 system or later. You should enable 32-bit addressing before booting your SE30 beyond 8 megabytes.
And also the RAM on there.
So maybe I should boot it fully and then make sure I have all that set up and then try the RAM again.
Yeah, try it. But like I said, I think you have to change out the RAM too, because I know I had to do that on mine.
Here you go. So it says, although advertised as 32-bit computer, the SE30 ROMs were dirty, containing some 24-bit code, meaning it could not run 32-bit applications without new ROMs, which Apple never produced, or a software patch. To use an SE30 in 30-bit mode, you need a free copy of Mode 32 from Apple. So you can actually install something. Let's see, big old mess of wires. Here we go. They have a SE30 ROM upgrade. Let's take a look here. So 2CX and 2CI.
That's the machines right there. If you have one of those, just pull.
Oh yeah, I have one of each. Yeah.
Yeah, just pull one out. Take the one out of the SE30. Plug that in.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, it says with these ROMs, Mode 32 is not required and should not be installed.
Yeah, because that's clean ROM. Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. So you can get the 0007 Mac 2X or the 0008 Max CX, the Mac 2 CX. Those have the best ones to use, it says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was. I knew there was
so there you
machines.
go. So that might be the problem. So if I pull the ROM out of my 2CX and pop inside the SE30 and then put the new memory in, let's see what happens.
Yeah, it should boot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad I mentioned that.
Boot.
In theory, yes. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got two SE30s sitting right here on the floor. I cracked both of those ones open. And like I said, I had the exact same issue in both, but I would guess they probably are stock ROMs. And same thing with the ROM chips, in them. Because I know for sure the one was 256K, the last one I just opened.
because I have one of those ROMinators for the SC30.
The big old mess of wires.
Yeah.
That's
but
why I
I've
looked at
never
mine.
ever
So.
used it because I keep just getting SEs, so it doesn't work with SEs. So.
Oh, I found an SE here locally for $25.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick it up Monday.
Nice. Cool.
Yep, they messaged me and said, "Yeah, come by Monday. Here's our address. Call when you get to the driveway, and we'll open the garage door." So
Awesome.
yeah, I was on Craigslist locally for $25. I was like, "Heck yeah, I'll take that." $25.
That's how I got my Quadra.
Yeah,
Craigslist.
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, you never know. Things pop up. They still work their way out of the woodwork, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got offered 10 19-inch CRT monitors.
10?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm taking all 10.
I would.
Yeah.
If you have the room, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have the room. I just don't have the money for a divorce lawyer.
Let's see. What is this? I'm not sure where this is at. Oh, New Jersey.
What about it?
Someone has an actual 128, still with the original back cover and everything. Like it wasn't upgraded.
Oh, it wasn't modded. Nice.
Nope, wasn't upgraded. So it still actually has the original 128K back case and everything. Keyboard, mouse, the whole computer, $350.
Well, that's not terrible.
No, not for the. I mean, heck, I tried to get those motherboards. Remember the 128K motherboards?
Yeah.
Just the board itself, and they went for over $300.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just for the motherboard, and this is the whole complete computer with keyboard and mouse. What's weird is somebody didn't buy it because they had a bunch of stuff for sale. They had that, the Plus, Image Writer 2, books, cords, mice, all that kind of stuff, extras. They sold all of it except for the 128K. That's the only one that's still available.
Well, with the Plus, it's a much more upgradable machine compared to the 128. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, I just
way
wanted a
more memory.
128 board to put in my 128,
Yeah.
so that it was original. Because I already have, 2 Pluses. So I don't need another one. Plus, I have 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 512K boards over there that are good working ones in the pile.
Okay.
So I got parts.
Where's my
Well,
128?
you just need the case for them.
I have your 512 sitting here on the floor.
Or 512, yeah, that's right.
It's the one with that privacy screen on it.
Oh, right.
The detachable privacy screen.
Privacy. I demand privacy.
I was laughing. I was like, who in the world needed a privacy screen for a monitor that small? But I don't know. You never know, because some of these were in interesting environments. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could have been in a government office or something.
You never know.
Yeah.
Like that one that Adam has that says this is not for classified use. Not for classified use. Yeah. What's funny is I put a VoIP system into a government contractor one time, and we actually had to print labels and put on all the VoIP phones that it wasn't for classified use when we installed them, so that people knew not to talk secret talk on them. What's funny is one of the rooms that I had to do an install on, they had to walk me in with a blindfold on till I got to the corner of the room where the phone was being installed. And then they took it off for me just to do it, but I couldn't turn around I couldn't look behind me.
Mhm.
Like I had to stare straight at the wall, do my thing, and then when it was working, put the blindfold back on, and then kick me back out of the room.
What was the setup for?
VoIP telephones. They
What,
were
like,
changing out all their telephones to a VoIP system.
was it a military facility?
Well, they were a contractor, yeah, that did military stuff. So they did aviation stuff for the Navy, like some type of guidance systems for something. Like it wasn't like rockets or anything like that. It was something. They explained what it was that they actually did, but a lot of them I didn't understand. But they were
It's
neat
just like
people.
it's just like when I used to work for ABDIC Company a long time ago, automated printing presses and all that stuff. And anyway,
If they
when I
had
lived in
military contract, sorry, go ahead, Dave. Sorry, didn't mean to
oh,
interrupt you.
good. They we had a lot of military bases that had our equipment in it for
Yeah.
printing and stuff. And so anyway, when I lived in San Jose, I had a very big territory. Well, I had to go to Mountain View and go to Moffett Field, and basically we had to go. We had to service their printing equipment. So what they do is they had to schedule an appointment, because what they would do is they would kind of hide all the classified stuff.
Yep.
And then so when I got there, I had two armed MPs with their guns. I mean, cocked
Oh, yeah.
and ready to go. I mean, yeah, and they escorted me there. I mean, I felt nice and safe, man. Nobody's going to take me out without them shooting at them. And so we walked. It seemed like a block, because this is a long building. And anyway, so they opened the doors and they let me in, and they stand outside the door the whole time that I was there. I was there for like about 2 hours.
hmm
And so I'm working on the equipment and talking to the guys in there, because a lot of them are just regular civilians, and
Oh, yeah.
they
Yep.
work in there. And so when we get there to do that, they have to issue a temporary top secret clearance.
hmm
It's just good for that visit. So they
Yep.
already pull all your stuff on you before you even go there. So
Yep.
I was one of the like 2 or 3 people that would go there. And so
That's the same thing with a couple of places. We have BAE Systems over here. You got to do that. They're government contractors, and then Lockheed Martin's just right over the hill.
Lockheed,
They
yeah.
have missile silos and stuff there at Lockheed, and they do
yeah, for sure.
the copters out of this facility.
Okay, yeah.
So
So,
yeah,
yeah.
they got all kinds of cool stuff over there. But yeah, you have to go to the gate and you have to sign in, but you have to do it during the window they assigned you. Like the same thing,
Yep.
you have an appointment. You have to do it in
Yep.
the window they assigned you. Can't reschedule, you can't come late, can't come early.
Nope.
No, I was
They
going to
won't let
say the guys who got you to come in with a blindfold. I mean, I think that might end up causing them to lose their classification, because you should have been certified. As a
Oh no,
safety-
I had clearance. I was in the service, so I already had clearance.
Yeah, so then there was no need to blindfold you.
No, I didn't have the SCI level that was required for whatever it was they were working on.
But that's my point: is you shouldn't have been allowed
Yeah.
in the room. Then they should have had a certified.
It wasn't a normal skiff, because like
Yeah.
we have one guy in our office that he would service computers in the skiff.
Right.
So like that was his job. Like he did updates and service patches and things on computers that were specifically in the skiff. But this was just like a workshop area where they do development on something,
Interesting.
and they had to have a phone in there apparently for whatever it is.
For when
And
the
then same thing.
development
What's dumb is like when I was putting our equipment in a rack, it was in the same server room as their server equipment with nobody in there. So it doesn't make any sense. They were more concerned about what you saw versus having access to something.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I was thinking, was maybe it wasn't more so corporate espionage type thing they were worried about instead.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, he's gonna sell these top secrets of how we build this or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they were as concerned with what was actually out. It was more so of what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when I worked for Convergent Technologies back back in the day in San Jose, and we were bought out
Mhm.
by Unisys.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, so 18 months after acquisition, we had to go back east for 9 weeks to set up our operations back there. And we were done in a couple weeks, and then every day after that, we just had to go there and check in for an hour, and we were gone the rest of the day. They couldn't fire us; we were already on contract. And then when we went back to California, we did our exit interviews and stuff, and we had to sign the disclosure that we would not
Yep.
talk about trade secrets or anything like that. We were bound by corporate
NDA.
not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that the work I did for Walmart had more security than anything. When I'd go to their data centers and stuff like that, they actually, you have to be verified and buzzed in at the gate. Then you have to drive into the parking lot. And then when you come into the building, you have to have your driver's license and all that stuff. And they actually take it. Like, you get it back when you leave the facility. Like, they actually take your ID.
Wow.
And they keep it. Yeah, so they give you a badge, access badge, that gets you into all of the data center rooms. So
Right.
they give you an access badge, and they trade you for your driver's license. So, like, when you return the badge at the end of the day, and they give you all of your stuff back, no bags, no backpacks, no nothing like that. I had to take, equipment in with me, but it went through a machine, like an X-ray type thing. Went through a machine, and then, like I said, security checks everything out.
What
And then
were
they
they
give you your badge.
worried doing at Walmart?
No, it was in their data center.
Oh.
Racks and racks and racks, like football field racks of equipment.
Oh,
What's nice is that their corporate office down in Bentonville, so they have a data center actually at the corporate facility. But they actually have a remote one just across the border into Missouri, and that's the one where I worked at the most. But the main office one, they had a cafeteria, like actual restaurants, like a cafeteria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like not just a normal cafeteria, like at a school or something. This was like separate restaurants, like a food court.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
So that was fancy.
Yeah.
That data center was crap because it was the oldest. Because it was right at their main building. It was the oldest one. But they had a really nice, like, bunker-looking one. It looked like a nuclear bunker, the one that was across the state border into Missouri. And that was really neat. That was really, really neat. Because, like I said, all you could see is the top of it out of the ground, like a dome. Everything else was below ground, once you actually went into the building.
That's always the coolest place in the summer. The
Yeah.
server rooms.
Their newest one at the time that I did the stuff, so I had to fly to Phoenix a few times. I had to fly to Seattle a couple times, but they had one. I would fly into Grand Junction, Colorado, and then go into Colorado Springs there by the Air Force Base. They had a data center right there in Colorado Springs, and that was the newest one at the time. That one had they changed data center designs then, where they had all of the PDUs and the battery backup equipment and the power conditioning was in separate galleries outside the data center. So the data center was warm, and they just had cool aisles. So they would have self-contained aisles that had to have the cold, and air conditioning, where the rest of the switching and stuff like that wasn't air conditioned.
Okay.
Yeah, they switched designs. So that one was the newest facility, and that was really neat. They had enough diesel fuel and water for cooling to operate on battery backup for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, not battery backup, but like the generator. They can run without actual grid power for 2 weeks.
Oh,
They had enough fuel on site and water for cooling that they could operate 2 weeks straight without having to shut down.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty neat, seeing some of the stuff they did. And of course that had newer equipment and stuff in it too. They had a lot of Systemax stuff that actually had LCD screens on the racks that told you what was all in it. So when you're looking for something, you can, type it in, and the rack actually, the lights flash on it to identify which one it is. And then it tells you on the screen what you're looking for.
The AI thing from Unify is awesome.
I accidentally hit the back button on my mouse. But yeah, they had all kinds of cool stuff at that one. But then they had like one where we went in where they only had 2 rows of stuff. The whole rest of it was completely empty. Nothing. Because it wasn't populated yet.
Yeah.
Quite the large operation.
It sounds like it. Wow.
But you
Yeah.
figure that's just Walmart. I mean, all these big chain stores got to be the same way. You know, Target, or, you know, Best
Yeah.
Buy or whatever, you know.
Well, it's like Costco. I worked for them for many
Mhm.
years, and Kirkland, Washington. You know, that's their headquarters up there. I imagine they've got the same sort of setup up there.
Yeah. What's cool is when the Sears here locally closed, I actually got all the raised floor out of their data center.
Nice.
They actually had a data center in the facility, and I got all the raised floor, everything.
Oh wow!
I got all the support blocks, the grid, the tiles, everything. I took it all home.
Nice.
And that's what
So
I
you can
planned on
put-
putting in the basement.
I was
You know,
gonna say,
in one room, one little section.
yeah.
But I am trying to condense down on stuff I have. I thought about building a separate building just for the data center outside for the raised floor that wasn't in the house. So I may go that route. Because I'm tired of the noise and the heat and all that that it produces. Plus, I'd rather have the indoor space.
What are you using it for? Right? Like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I could virtualize a lot of stuff and just put it in the cloud. You know, at this point. Most of it was just replicating stuff on the same hardware that people were using.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I don't like about the cloud is very convenient, okay, because we use it at work.
Mm-hmm.
But we're a beta site, so we get all the new software. Oh my God. And I cannot tell you how frustrating it is because we talk to our the people that are hosting the servers and stuff, and they said, well, we're gonna add another more CPU speed to your server. We're gonna add more memory. We're gonna cut back on some of the apps that are drawing too much, sucking off all your bandwidth on your server and stuff. It doesn't make any difference. All the stuff they do, it's not made a darn bit of difference. So what happens is we use it's called electronic medical records. It's OfficeMate, and so anyway,
I've used OfficeMate before.
Okay, yeah, and it's very, very app intensive. I mean, it sucks up the speed on your computer like nothing, and it just tells me it's a very poorly executed and poorly written program because it doesn't utilize a lot of stuff. But anyway, that's what we use. But that aside, it's a great program for the doctors. But the problem is again, the old server host that we had before, they had to go through a different one because they were phasing that one out. So this new one's got a lot of bugs in it. Well, the bugs in it is times you out after a while if you're not using it, okay, which the other one didn't. And there's a reason why, because we always have to hop around on different machines. So maybe you haven't used one in the back. By the time you go back to use it, it's off. So
you're already off.
Back
Jesus criminy.
They freeze up. The screens freeze up, and you have to get out of the server, restart the server again.
Holy cow!
Just all kinds of stuff like this all the time, and it's frustrating. So we have 12 terminals, 12 computers. So all this, so you can see it's quite a nightmare to deal with this all the time.
Yeah, holy cow!
The internet, when you're on the internet itself, it's fine. Okay, it's just that all our stuff is going up to the cloud, and it's just so freaking laggy. And the reason why we do that is because if somebody came in and broke into the office and stole all the computers.
They don't have any actual data.
Exactly. There's no medical records on them. They can't open anything.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason why we do it.
That makes sense.
And I've been after the doctor. I say, look, what you need to do is even if it's in your house, you need to have a server. So that way, if we lose the cloud, we have access to stuff.
Yeah, because that happens all the time. I mean, that used to happen. So for dental stuff, Dentrix is a big one.
Use
They
Dentrix.
have physical, they have physical servers, but a lot of it's cloud now. Tons of it's
Oh,
cloud based now, and it
you still
sucks.
use physical.
Yeah.
There's certain things.
Same thing
Now
with
that
eye
being said,
doctors, EagleSoft. For eye doctors, we used to use that. That's another piece of crap. A lot of this stuff just hasn't been updated in so long. Like it's made for one thing and it worked really well for that one thing. And now that they're trying to virtualize a lot of things, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
I will
There's
say, it
just
depends on the
something.
platform you put it on. I've seen the virtual. I talk about it this way: Microsoft spends millions of dollars propping up Azure.
Mhm.
I don't. Why would I ever think I could be better than that?
Exactly.
Right.
Mhm.
So I will just.
Well, they didn't even run it on Microsoft stuff for the longest time. It was all Linux at first.
Yeah. So I just look at it. I'll just use Azure for
Yep.
everything.
I used AWS for a long time, but they are expensive.
We use
Very expensive.
ThinkSmart is who we go through, and they have oh gosh, they have a server. They have see in Utah. They have a couple servers out there. They have California, New York.
Mhm.
They're kind of scattered about, but again, it all goes up to the cloud.
Yep.
So they keep tweaking things, but it's and Dr. Hoffman, I go, Dr. Hoffman, I said, I called them up and chewed their butt out. I said, all the stuff you guys do. He goes, no, hey, no, he goes, Dave, don't yell at me. He goes, I get a really good deal because we're a beta site. I said, well, how good of a deal is it? Because it must be freaking free to you because we're the guinea
Exactly.
pigs, and all the other doctors are getting frustrated. They come at me. I say, hey, I can't do anything about it. It's ThinkSmart. It's out of my control, man. I'm just a middleman here.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I said, you just complain to the doctor because he's the one that's got the deal with them. And
Getting a kickback, free golf.
I don't know. Most of everybody that's in that office here is our patients, so you get some kind of good deal.
Yeah.
Gives them free
That's crazy.
exams and eyewear for whatever.
Yeah, I like to barter.
Yeah.
Bartering's good.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we all get free glasses, 2-3 pair of a year, free exams.
That's not bad. That's pretty awesome.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
that's
complain about
nice.
that. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
it's just, but yeah, like I said, it's just frustrating because, like I said, the other system worked way better, and
Mhm.
it was quick, it was snappy, and we had these machines that we have, the old Dells, they were just like Core 2 dual machines,
Yeah.
And now we went to they're the 17-inch or not 17-inch, 21-inch Dell. I forget the model number.
They're like
at
the
least they're
all-in
on-
ones.
Yeah, like a Mac,
Yeah.
That's the way the other ones were too. But the screens are beautiful on them.
Now, you used to have your servers on site then, before you switched to the cloud version.
A long time ago when we were
Yeah.
when we were other building, yeah. That's before I joined them, but yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm in a new building now, but yeah. So when we moved to the new building, it was about 10 years ago. That's when they went to the cloud-based system. It's just like I said, our internet is speedy. I mean, we have Comcast. We also have 2 analog lines. We have analog line for our fax, and we have an analog line it goes into the main phone, but then it goes through IP, and it goes through
Sure.
Weave. That's who we use on our phone system. And
Huh.
but the fax, we had problem with that. Couldn't send or receive fax as soon as it would go to dial, get a busy signal all and it'd start dialing and get busy
that's
signal.
weird.
What the heck? And then people would call us and same thing.
So can't use a fax where I am.
What's that?
Can't use a fax where I am.
Oh, you can't.
No, it's 2023.
Oh, 2023.
I don't get any faxes either.
Well,
Everything's
in the
pretty much
medical
email now.
industry, In the,
Oh, I know.
in the medical industry,
All the dentists
faxing
go-
is very heavily used, and the reason being it's actually more secure than the internet, and that's why they do it.
But that's a fallacy, because what ends up happening is most of those faxes get digitized when they go to the government agency and are
Yep.
sent in an email.
You know what's funny though? So I have a story about faxing. So I had a CT scan one time at the hospital, and they were having problems with the computers, and they actually had to fax the results from upstairs in the building to the downstairs office where I was at.
That's amazing.
Instead of sending somebody to bring the papers down, because the computers were messed up, they actually faxed them the results.
Yeah, we fax 20, 30 things a day. We receive hundreds of fax from other offices and stuff.
No kidding.
No,
That's
but
crazy
this-
to me.
But it's interesting. It stopped working about a week ago. So we had Comcast come out. It took them a couple of days to come out, and we went out to the mechanical room outside the building, and he says, "Here's your modem up here. You see these lights here? It's on. These two lights over here, those are your two lines. You see the number? They're not lit up, and then the battery's off too."
Yeah.
So what he did is he put the cover off, pulled the battery, unplugged it, pulled the cover off, took the battery out, then put the battery back in, plugged it back in, and after about a minute they lit up and we were good. And he says what happens once in a while, he says he's only had it happen twice, but when they do a software update, they usually do that about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes
don't come back.
it will not turn on. So when they reset it, that's supposed to be automatic for whatever reason, but that battery on it doesn't turn on. So the way you have to get it to reset it, you just can't unplug it. You have to pull the battery out of it.
I've had that happen here with our cable modem once or twice. If there's a
cable
power
modem,
outage, yeah, if there's a power outage or something like that, like I'll still have power here at the house because we have the whole house backup. But like down the road, there's no power at the pole that's boosting the signal, so like it doesn't work. So what I end up having to do is once it finally comes back on, a lot of times I'll have to actually unplug it and plug it back in and then let it retrain up, and then it works.
Yeah.
Our cable provider out here is relentless for that kind of shit. So Dave, why haven't you gone to cable internet?
What's that?
Why haven't you upgraded the cable internet at your house?
I know you hate the
Where I-
cable provider.
Where I live or where I
Yeah, where you live. Because you just had an outage, internet outage.
Oh yeah, we had our 5G was out and the internet was out. We're all copper here in Sutter Creek. They only have fiber at a certain point. Now the plan is, and this has been 3 years ago, is they are going to be running fiber all the way through the Sutter Creek, so we'll be into fiber now. But right now we're just on Wi-Fi. I mean, it comes from the pole, it goes to the router, and then from the router, it's all Wi-Fi in the house.
Yeah,
so,
but you're on DSL.
Yeah,
just copper DSL. Okay.
Yeah,
but they don't have cable available there.
I thought you said you don't like the cable company.
No, we're with AT&T. They have no. We do have Comcast, and you can get. They're all cable and fiber optic, and you can get the speed. So, I've been an AT&T user for a long time. I mean, we get everything bundled and stuff. It's just more convenient. But I'm rethinking. I might just go with Comcast for the internet.
So, yeah, I would.
Because like right now, I barely have a meg upload, and it doesn't matter if I'm Etherneted into it or over the air. It's the same performance.
Yeah.
Okay. Same way with the download. Same performance. We have
DSL is all based on distance. So wherever that DSLAM is sitting, you only have so many feet from the DSLAM, and then signals diminish, and you get slower and slower speeds.
Yeah. So
same thing with overselling. That happens a ton with DSLs. They oversell what they have available. So then everybody's connection is slow as crap.
Yep. So that's why I use the 5G. That's plenty fast.
Oh, yeah, it's faster. Yeah. But at least if you had the cable internet, you could stream on the cable. Yeah. And if your 5G's out, you could still have the cable, theoretically.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. See, because like I said, like I said, this was promised over 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and I think I talked to them a couple weeks ago, and they said, "Oh yeah, they plan on putting it, but I don't have the." They always keep saying this fall, this fall, this
Yeah.
fall. It's never
Well,
happened. So.
we didn't get real cable internet until summer of 2019. There was no DSL available. There was
Mm.
nothing. You had to put your phone in the window and to get 1 bar of signal, and then we had the tether.
Oh wow.
Sounds
So it
expensive.
was horrible, horrible. Yeah, I even tried cell phone boosters. Like that would sometimes work, but not
Hmm.
really. What a
Yeah.
mess. So yeah, finally summer of 2019, they finally ran the cable. And that's after we had had a petition signed by everybody in the neighborhood that they would sign up for service if they put it in.
Yeah.
Cuz they
Now
were at
you
the
want
bottom of
to.
the hill, but they didn't come up, up our way.
Now, I'll tell you something funny. When we used to live in Pioneer, that's up in the mountains,
Yeah.
okay, and we were serviced by Volcano Telephone Company,
Mhm.
okay, and but to here, Volcano stops short of Sutter Creek,
Yep.
okay. Otherwise, we'd have stayed Volcano, and with Volcano, they're cable,
Yep.
so we got plenty of speed with them.
Well, a lot of
Uh,
that is political. Your township or municipality does an exclusivity agreement with
oh yeah,
XYZ carrier. Yeah, because that happened just down below us. The people that are literally just down at the other end of the road from us cannot get it. They can't get cable internet because they have an exclusivity with Frontier and they
mm-hmm.
have
Yep.
DSL, which is
There you
horrible,
go.
but they
So
cannot put it in. They can't put it in.
yeah,
They're not
and
allowed.
this was probably because of AT&T is in this area, and that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah, yeah,
What a mess. What a mess. What a
yeah.
mess.
And they've been putting up more towers. They've been upgrade. I think they get all the towers upgraded now. So I mean, when we first moved up here, uh, these phones wouldn't work. You had to have the bag phone in the day, and they
Yeah.
were analog. I think we still have ours. It's
Yeah.
somewhere, and you have your little antenna. You roll your window down a little bit. You
Yep.
clip it up there and stick
Clip
it
it up on the window. Yep.
up, or you
Yep.
stick it
I've
on the
seen
window
those.
or the back window. So yeah, and then it was higher wattage, but
Mhm.
like I said, it didn't work that good up here. But like if you're in a flatter area, it worked fairly decent. And it looked just like a little telephone. You know, you just hold it in your hand there, have the cord on it. But like then when they started putting towers and stuff over the years and stuff, then the smaller cellular phones were fine. So
Mhm.
yeah, and I much prefer these than that big bag phone. Yeah, but that's what you had to do back in the day. But yeah, it's just. But like I said, it's kind of funny. The phone book we get, we just got our phone book. It says Volcano
Oh,
on
we don't even
it.
get phone books. They don't even do
Oh,
them here.
really?
Nope.
Yeah, I know that's something that's going to the wayside for sure. But it's neat getting the old phone book. So yeah. Our chat's
I
been very
actually,
quiet for a long time.
yeah, everybody disappeared. It says there's 3 viewers, but one of them's me, and I don't know who else.
Well, I don't have my Safari browser opened up, so I'm just doing off the Google here.
Yeah.
So. Oh, here's John. Oh, John's still there. Hey, John. All right.
I've looked into satellite phones again. I used to have an Iridium one that worked really well, but I dropped the service because I never used it. But I'm looking at it for in case of emergency because we can't even get copper lines anymore. They've actually abandoned them.
Oh, really?
Where we live, like you just can't
Mm-hmm.
even get them. They don't want to service them, so they don't even offer it. So like if the internet goes out and we don't have cell phone signal, like what if there's an emergency at the new house? So that's why I'm looking at satellite phones now to see what the options are, and that way, if there's an emergency, at least we have something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's situations where we've just lost the internet and the 5G's fine.
Oh
We've
yeah,
lost the
yeah,
5G, the internet's fine. But the
yep,
last two times we've lost everything.
everything. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's concerning. So that's why to me I
Mhm.
was like, I better look at a satellite phone again because I think it's good to have something in case of emergency. Because I mean, we wouldn't use it for regular calls or any of that kind of crap.
Right. It's very
Um,
expensive. Yeah.
yeah, it's super expensive, but
Yeah.
it would be good to have in case of emergency. That way, we have at least some form of communication
Hmm. Yeah.
without having to.
Elon's Starlink is cheap here in Canada for some reason. They're offering the full hardware package for $170.
No kidding.
Wow.
It's $700 here.
Yeah,
Wow. That's a big difference.
I don't know if there might be some like rural internet
Canadian
funding.
government might be paying, yeah,
Mm.
like a offset or whatever they call that
subsidy.
subsidy. Yeah,
Mhm.
couldn't think of the word. Thank goodness tomorrow's Friday.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's been a long week.
It's been a long week. And
Very
I need an
long
imperial. I need an imperial security key, and I have no idea where it is.
Biggie John says Canadian government is paying $500 subsidy.
Yeah, sounds about right. We love to give away money. It's sort of our thing.
Yeah, but they're not giving it to you, Ryan. There's something wrong with that.
I don't want to talk about it.
See, the thing is like I would definitely get Starlink if it wasn't the monthly cost isn't bad. It's just the damn. I don't feel like I should have to pay $700 just to use your internet.
Now, in fairness, it is a nice piece of equipment. Like,
Sure, I get that, but still, it's like, I mean, granted, I paid more for less stuff, but
yeah.
it's the principle of it.
Just
but the
having
downside is you can't use VoIP on it.
You can use VoIP, or you cannot. Can't.
The business grade one will allow proper VoIP traffic, but
For $1,500 a month.
Yeah, but it's because of the way it works, where it splits between different satellites.
Yeah.
It drops packets, and that's why
Gotcha.
Your VoIP traffic shags up.
That makes sense.
But if you get the business one, they have the way that works is there's an overlap. It connects to two satellites at the same time, I think, and then it like bridges, so you're not losing.
They've got like load balancing, essentially.
Interesting.
Like I found a Sith.
I've never played that.
Force Lightning now, which is kind of cool.
Set on PC.
Yeah. Came out in 2002. You can also play it on Mac. It was available for Mac too.
Yeah, interesting.
I haven't played it in so many years, and I saw it in one of my years old torrent collections from bygone era.
Mm-hmm.
I should play that again. I haven't played that in years.
I was looking at
these two
finding...
stormtroopers. They just watched me kill a Sith. What do they think they have? Like what chance do they think they have?
I was thinking about creating some type of online hosted MUD server.
Oh yeah,
that we can telnet into from Classic Macs.
Yeah, I was looking at something similar with the RetroNAS.
Yeah,
add-on of doing like what was it? A mod, and then there was just like a regular BBS.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it'd be difficult.
What's not?
Because you can, like I said, you can just telnet to it. So I don't think it'd be horrible.
No, that's for sure. I'll get out of here.
I know Sean from Action Retro has talked about doing MUD servers tons of times.
Yes,
but I've
we
not
should.
heard anything more than that. But I think it'd be a cool community project. People can hop on and hang out and chat and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know
'Cause
for a while on his G5 dual core,
Mhm.
he used that as a server for
Yeah,
the for a long time for his
he
Minecraft.
did that on a Plus 2 or a Quadra or something. I feel like one
I
of
think it
his
was a
videos.
quadra.
It was
Yeah,
a
one of his
Quadra.
videos he did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And took it to VCF Feast or something like that. But I think it'd be cool to have an online hosted one so that all of us from wherever can join on,
Mhm.
and then we can either open up a live stream like this or Discord chat, like the voice chat,
Mhm.
and all play at the same time. I think that would be kind of cool.
Or we could just play a game of Dungeons and Dragons together.
That's true. That is true. That would actually be cool to do remotely. That would
We have a
be
Dungeons and
pretty
Dragons
neat.
club at school that are pretty active.
I've never actually played
Oh,
ever.
it's a lot of fun.
I've watched tons of the videos and stuff like that of other people playing, but I've never actually played myself. I can 3D print characters. But yeah, that actually would be cool if we picked one day a week and messed around with that.
I'm getting some sass from a Sith there now.
Too funny.
So I guess I'm gonna have to kill her. Yes. We know.
Do you guys have external CD drives? SCSI CD drives?
Scuzzy? No.
Yeah. No?
I have
Dave?
one.
You have one?
I have one.
Okay. I've got 2 already. And I'm winning bids on 2 more.
Oh, okay.
They're good to have.
I can show you the one I got here. Hold on.
One I got, because I had none up until recently. One I got actually from Joel Potatofy. It didn't work. And I bought the Centronics pieces and crimped new ends and made a new cable for it. And then it works fine. Something was wrong with the cable that was in it. So I'll have to send you a CD-ROM drive. You need those for things.
Use yourself?
Mine's come in handy quite a few times.
I mean, now that Blue Scuzzy emulates.
Oh
CD-ROM
yeah,
drive.
that's great. Yes, yeah, the new version. Yes, yeah, that's what I got. I got the Apple CD
Yeah.
300 and a 600.
Yeah. This is a. What is this one? This is a.
Same difference.
Yeah.
It looks identical.
It's off-brand, but it's probably the same thing they have.
Yeah, it's literally identical. It's like the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
They were probably all made by the same exact company, and Apple
Yeah.
just slapped their stuff on it.
Weighs about 50 pounds.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're not.
Weighs about 4 or 5.
They're not
pounds.
light. Yeah.
No. It works. I think the door's a little wacky on this, but it works.
Yeah.
But I use that for my Plus. At one time now that I have the Blue Scuzzy on it though, and the Raminator and all that on it, it's I haven't used that.
Well, I wanted to order some Raminators from Big Mess of Wires, but Will is making his own. So I was like,
really?
well, I might as well wait for Will's.
Yeah. for like the Mac SE.
Yeah. Now Will is making those 4 meg RAM sims, and he actually added like SMD lights, little LEDs on there that blink with the traffic.
Tell me about.
Yeah, so those are pretty sweet. I ordered 5 boards of them from him. So I think that's what 100 sticks of RAM, something like that. I think there's 20 on the sheet. So yeah, he actually ordered them, the PCBs. So I'm gonna assemble some of those, some 4 meg sticks, because those are always handy.
Yeah, I like that little activity lights on. That's pretty cool. I like that.
I thought that was neat, and I was laughing. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I was like, every one of my cases is enclosed, but it's still cool to know that they're in there.
Yeah. Well, if you have the back of it open and you're booting it up.
Hey,
and
Retro
you
Techie.
you can see
Hey, Roger
that,
Techie.
that it's accessing the memory because it's flashing, so that's good. So yeah, I'll have to get some of those here. But yeah, he's coming up with a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, Will's got all kinds of stuff in the works.
I know.
Those he made him with somebody else made those programmers for the ROMs, and they got those done and ironed out. And then he's got the actual ROMs themselves coming now, and they're getting those and ironing them out. So
Nice.
yeah, he's got all kinds of stuff.
And Joe Kim from Sweden,
Mm-hmm.
they've been doing a lot of stuff, and then they did the final revision on that power.
Yes, that
called?
Pico.
Yes, sir.
The power
the
where it
Pico
plugs into the
thing.
SCSI port. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool.
I
Definitely
need.
get one of those.
Oh yeah, for that to monitor power
Yeah.
levels and stuff. But he's also
So you
they're
get
building
12 volt, 5 volt positive,
Yeah.
5 volt negative.
But they're also building new replacement power supplies for some of the ones like the 2SI and stuff.
Yeah.
They're replacing all the guts with one smaller little board that you plug a barrel connector power supply into. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm more interested in the ones that they hide in the actual power supply. So it's a new.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
power
Yeah.
supply. But
Well-
then it has it takes the regular AT.
Yeah.
power,
Yeah.
right?
It's the same thing. So they're putting the entire power brick with the barrel connector right into the power supply itself, and still using the regular NEMA 15 plug.
Yeah.
On the back. So that's pretty awesome. So you can keep it looking original using the normal power cable. So
You just
that's
put all
awesome.
new guts on the inside of it there. Yeah.
Well, I've got 3 SI power supplies, and every one of them has the exact same issue. It was just very poor design when they made these power supplies. And I'm sure at the time they didn't think about it and it wasn't an issue, but
They weren't planning on these things
Yeah.
lasting 40 years.
Yeah. Well, what's stupid is they put these microcontrollers in them, but the stupid things are vertical. So the electrolyte literally runs straight down the boards.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then just eats everything. So yeah, it's the exact same issue in every one of them. It just really gets crapped up because it drains straight down the board and then lays onto the main board. So yeah, it's just bad design.
Yeah.
Having them vertical. It's one thing to where they're flat, but with those ones, the vertical, they ruin that little tiny board, and it's so small that it's difficult to repair or replace those pieces. Because all those ones are itty bitty pieces. So I have 3 power supplies. All 3 of them have that same exact issue. So I can't get a replacement. They don't make them. So
That sucks.
I did find engineering diagrams for them to get them reproduced from schematics, but it'd be easier for Will to finish up with what he's doing because that fits a bunch of different models, not just the one.
Yeah.
So that's great. Yes, exactly. That's the best way to go. Future proofing. That's the best way to go instead of recreating the same power supply with the same problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Plus, it's less crap. Like when you switch to that new Pico controller with the little power brick, like that's way less part. That's way less heat. So that's going to be more efficient overall.
Yeah.
Less parts, less heat.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm excited about that.
The accelerator boards they're making also for the Mac 2s. And I think
Bowl's got a few different ones out too.
Yeah.
I saw him listing some for sale, for different things. So that's pretty awesome. And then Joe, I was talking with Joe, so I've got 3 of the Max Snap RAM upgrades for the 128 and 512K. They're single layer board, so they're super easy to reproduce. So we're looking at getting those reproduced because there's not any big logic, chips or anything that we'd have to have remade. So those are super simple. We've been looking into one upgrade. It is a Max Snap SCSI card for the let's see, the 128 and the 512Ks. You can add SCSI to them.
Oh wow.
So you can have internal SCSI. or the port on the back. So hang on, where did I put it?
I
That's
know
the Mac Rescue.
John, Big Bad Biologist, he's been working on his internal SCSI for the Mac Plus.
Oh yeah.
And eventually he's gonna, once he gets it, all the bugs worked out of it, he's gonna release it. So yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I want to do that to my my Mac Plus. If I still have
Yeah.
room in there, I can do it.
Oh, this should work. So you pull your ROMs out. You pull your ROMs out of your board, and then you snap this in. It's got header pins that go right into the ROM sockets.
Okay.
And you put your ROMs on this.
Okay.
And then there's only the one chip that has to be reproduced. And somebody actually did. Big Mess of Wires, Bowl, and a few other guys were working on it. And I guess they had a working prototype, but I haven't heard any new developments since then. But this little 4-inch by 4-inch board is the MaxSnap SCSI. So it's a little tiny board. It's got the ROMs, it's got a couple logic chips and stuff, but it has the header for the back SCSI for like the DB25 outside. It's got a little ribbon cable here that allows you to put it right on your battery board and use the original screw and everything like that. And it's got this ribbon cable that goes onto this board, so you have the external SCSI port. And then right here at the top, there's a resistor bank and a 50-pin header so that you can have internal SCSI.
Wow.
All on this little 4x4 board that they made.
That's amazing.
Yep. Wow. Then there's another option. This one also works too. This is the Mac Rescue board. It adds RAM, a whole new CPU, and it also gives you the external SCSI. It uses a ghillie clip. Killy clip. It clips right over top of your existing CPU, and it puts a new CPU, a better CPU on it, and more RAM. Nice. So you can add this in. Can't remember what I pulled this out of, but it's a Mac Rescue board. I think this was on a Plus.
A 128 and 512.
I don't remember. I pulled it out of something, but I don't remember what it was I pulled it out of. It actually might have came out off of this this 512 board right here.
Okay.
So yeah, because I feel like this one had both. It had the MaxSnap for the one and the SCSI both.
Yeah.
Because I've got two of these Mac Rescue boards.
Cool.
And I've got
nice goodies when you get an old machine.
Yeah, because you never know what's in it. You never know what's in it till you pop it open and like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, that SCSI one I'm going to put in my 512, the little 4x4 one.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple Mac Rescue boards, but like I said, I also have, see, here's a spare Mac Plus board right here. And then I got a couple 512 boards over here that are spares that work. Yeah, it's always good. And then these Mac Rescue boards here are the RAM upgrades. You can do up to 2 megabytes on these. They have RAM chips on them.
Okay.
So these also use the Killy clips. They snap down over chips on the board.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. So I got 2 of these, plus I've got the one that's in the 512 now.
Okay.
Nice. So I got three total of these, but we're going to look at tearing one apart and reproducing the board.
Okay.
So that we can make them.
Yeah, I got a 512
for people.
That Sean from Geek with Social Skills board.
Yeah.
He's going to be sending it my way. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So that'd be nice. I can take it apart and give it a good cleaning. But he says it works. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's awesome. He popped some stuff in the mail for me today.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I got some stuff I got to mail out to Joe tomorrow. I put up my car so I wouldn't forget about doing it. I've done it for 2 weeks. I keep forgetting.
I get crazy busy and forget.
Well, I've been having car trouble, and so I'd be taking the other one. So half the stuff I got in one car, and I forgot to bring it. And so I put up my car so all ready, so that way I won't forget to get it tomorrow morning because I leave early on Friday mornings because I do a lot of errands before I get to work, and I get there early,
Yeah.
open up everything, get all the systems brought up and everything.
Gotcha. Trying to think. I want to get my 9600 working better. Something got corrupted with the SD card image that I had on there, and then the thing would boot sometimes, and other times it would hang up on boot. So I'm gonna actually do a fresh install on it, and get it back up and running with the Blue Scuzzy. So I got the Blue Scuzzy in it, and it's got the Joe printed me before I had the Carbon X1. Joe printed me the cover that Sean from Action Retro made.
Okay.
Where it's got just the slot to put the SD in the front, and it's got a
Yeah.
little hard drive light. So I have that on there, so it looks really nice and clean.
Nice. Yeah.
I have to start making more Blue Scuzzy boards because I'm running out of them, because I got all those recapped and cleaned up and ready to go, and I put Blue Scuzzies in all those, but I'm running out for some of the other
Nice.
machines. I've got to make some more.
Yeah. Well, you can still. I think Joe's still got quite a few of the original Blue Scuzzies available. I think.
Oh yeah, but I've got a ton. When I ordered them, I ordered 100 of the boards and parts to make
okay.
them.
So you.
I
okay,
got
so you
got
bullshit.
enough for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I just got to build them. Yeah, I just got to put them together.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, when Retro Techie reaches 1,000 subs, Dave's gonna give away his car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll have to fix it too.
Ron sent me some stuff in the mail this week,
Mhm.
and he threw in an actual sealed copy of MS-DOS
Oh,
with the install discs
that's fun.
and Windows 3.1
Oh, there you go.
sealed in the packaging.
Nice. That's always nice when you can find stuff that's still sealed and you can just display it, and-
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, that's gonna look great. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been a really long week. I'm really glad that tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah. I tell you, this year is just going by so quick already.
It is.
Wow.
It is.
I mean, we're already
It's already May.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said. It's already May. Holy
Yeah.
cow. Crazy.
So Ryan, mark your calendar, okay?
Oh, what am I marking it for?
I was before you joined, I was telling Frank that last year I did a 12-hour Halloween stream.
Halloweeny.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So it will be this year. It'll be on October 29th. Okay.
Awesome.
We run it from
As long as I don't
6
have-
to 6.
As
6
long as I don't
a.m.
have
to
to
6
check on dance,
p.m.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I wish we were
And-
able to have more than 10 people.
I know. And everybody wore, and it was pretty good last year because most people wore costumes, which was really fun. So, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Trina and Eric, I was wearing my Jason mask and stuff.
Oh, no
and,
kidding.
I was working in the lab late one night.
Garth had his background all Halloweened up and everything, and so it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
That's really cool.
But like I said, in reality, we'll just run it 11 and a half hours because, like I said, YouTube doesn't do it for the full 12 hours. So
Yep. Well, once you end the stream, you could still hang out for another half hour
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the backstage. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you can always end the stream and start it again.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true too.
That's how we do it. Like I help a church run their live stream.
Mhm.
And that's how they do it. They just every few days they just restart their live stream.
Huh.
Yeah, you can do it that way.
And if they want to cut mass out of a live stream, they have to do it before the 12-hour mark or it gets erased.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that's one nice thing about the StreamYard is you can record it, and then you can actually go through StreamYard and edit it out or whatever you want to do to it. So, Yeah, I got. I had trouble with when you get monetized. Okay,
Mhm.
so there's different steps you go through everything. So you get monetized, and then when you get to the point where you reach your threshold for your first YouTube payout,
Mhm.
then you have to establish your payment method. That's one
Sure.
of the steps you have to go
Right.
through. Well, through AdSense, it would not. It kept getting this weird error code. So this has been going on for like about 5 weeks. So finally, between Google and AdSense, they finally got it figured out. So I got my test 12-cent direct deposit, because that's what they do. They'll do a test deposit,
And then you put in the amount to make sure it's working.
yeah, and then they'll take that amount out,
Gotcha.
and they give you a code and the amount. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so 12 cents. They deposit that today. So
Okay, that's good.
yeah, so once that, and then when you do that, you get the code, and then your account's verified, and then you can get your payout. So yeah,
Oh, nice. So you're well on the way now.
yeah. So
Good.
you get, well, I have mine just set for $100 threshold. So
Then cash out.
yeah, but it's going to be more than that because, like I said, it's been hung up in there. So yeah. So
Sure.
by the time it's all said and done, it's going to be like about $120. So hey, that's
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you buying with
Money's-
your big?
Yeah. What are you
What's
buying
that?
with your big YouTube payout?
Yeah, your big YouTube pad. What are you buying?
Yeah.
Car parts,
keep-
apparently.
Keep car parts and keep paying for StreamYards. There you go. Yeah.
What's wrong with your car currently? I didn't catch that part.
Oh, my Prius. Well, it's the battery pack.
Oh, right.
And I just have to call Green Bean. They're out of New York. It's lifetime warranty. It's transferable if you sell the car, but you just go and get a diagnostic report of the issue, email it to them. They will send somebody out. They'll change it out. But what happens is, it's a heat related issue because the batteries, they're not balancing.
Okay.
And so the lower
Really
cells
hot.
are running really hot.
Yeah.
And so when it gets hot, then it clicks on the little triangle of death, and it starts shutting things down. So you got about a minute or 2 minutes before you get pull over, before you start losing power on the low end.
Uh-oh.
And then I just take the battery off, disconnect it for about a minute, put it back on, then I can get home, no problem. So, but when it's cool, it's not a problem. But yeah, and it's just the battery's just.
You need to set yourself up with one of those kill switches so that you can do it from in the car, so you don't have to pop the hood and disconnect the battery.
Oh,
you need to disconnect inside.
On this car, it's in the trunk. So
oh, no kidding.
The
so you actually have
back.
to. Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Yeah, you have to take the battery off of it. Yeah. It takes me about. I'm pretty quick. It takes me about 15 seconds to disconnect it. So no big. So and about 20 seconds to tighten it back up. So yeah.
That's too funny.
So, but we're having this nice winter storm again. It's been nice and cool, down into 50s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So the batteries are happy. But when it gets in the 70s and 80s, I might make it to work, no problem. But on the way home, about halfway home, because it's been sitting outside all day, it's hot.
Heating up, yeah.
The batteries are already warm, and then when you're I'm not even running the air conditioner, drawing any more juice, and I got the fan turned all the way off to roll my windows down. I don't have a head, because usually I always run my headlights on, but I turn them off so that way I can make it home without getting the batteries angry. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I mean, I've had the battery pack out. I mean, I'm not afraid to tear into things. I always take pictures though. But anyway, I've had them out. I've taken the cover off of it. I looked at the little bus plates on it to make sure they're not corroded. Which everything looks good in there. I mean, everything's all nice and shiny in there because they replaced that about 2 years ago. That battery pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was through Green Bean.
Yeah, green bean. Yeah, yeah. But it's got a couple bad cells in it, just aren't charging up real good. And I always keep watching the battery, keeping it up to where it's once in a while it will dip down into like the 2 bars. That's usually first thing in the morning. I'm going up a hill. It's been sitting all night,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another indication because that battery is not holding the charge as good as it used to. Because when I start out in the morning, it drops down real quick. So yeah, but then after about 15, 20 minutes, it's staying charged up. But on the
My
way home,
father-in-law. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah,
so
sure.
on the way home, it'll start out okay, as long as you don't hot rod it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like I said, just the heat you'll hear the fan come on in the back. And I said, oh, and then shortly after that, the thing comes on the dash. So, so what I thought I might do is get some dry ice, right, and just kind of pack up dry ice.
That's not a bad idea.
Keep it
It's
cool.
not
Yeah,
a
it would
bad idea.
be. But anyway, that would be a real pain to do all the time. But anyway, so yeah, I just have to give them a call and get in touch with them, and then get it all to work, get that replaced. So yeah, because it's a kind of a pain in the butt to have to do that. But the last 4 days, it's been no problem.
That's good. It's a balmy
But I
4
mean,
degrees or 2 degrees here right now.
oh wow.
2 degrees Celsius. So I don't know if
Yeah.
that's Fahrenheit.
That's good battery.
Sorry, I have to kill some
That's okay.
Empire.
35.6.
Not quite 0.
That's still chilly.
Yeah, that is. Let's see. It's a heat wave here compared to that. Let's see what we got here. It is right now. It is not that one. It's 56 right now here, Fahrenheit.
52 here.
Okay, so about 10, 12 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm. So not a whole lot warmer.
And
Enough to make a difference. So yeah.
Yeah. So the high today is 57. Tomorrow the high is supposed to be 59. Saturday 57. Sunday 63. Monday 64. And then we got rain the next 3-4 days off and on. And I'll tell you, was it Tuesday? Holy cow, man! We had some big old thunderstorms at work. Holy cow! Some big old hail and thunder and lightning, wind. It rained like bejeebers all the way into work.
Yeah, it's been raining here for almost 4 days now.
Yeah.
In a row.
You flooding?
We did the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water level went quite a bit up.
Yeah, we didn't get any flooding here, but there was a couple good lightning strikes that I heard on the news, and it hit one big tree and just exploded the center out of it.
Oh, jeez. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
What's May now? What are we doing for May?
We were talking about it before. Joe and I were talking about Makers Market, showcasing all the people that make things for the community, like all the Blue Scuzzies and all the stuff Will's making and, things like that.
I like it.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Like Mac Effects, like they made those custom cases. There's a lot of different people who've made things in support of retro computing. So Makers Market.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tech Electric. He makes a lot of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that make all kinds of cool stuff. So it's neat to showcase some of those things, and maybe somebody will see something they haven't before.
Mm-hmm.
That watches the videos.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Tech Ambrosia, she was asking what kind of upgrades could she get for her Mac Plus, as far as, like processor and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And if she known of anybody made them, I said, well, Dove made, Dove was one of them that made
Oh yeah,
upgrades for
they
the
went out of
Plus.
business. Yeah,
And then there was,
you can still find them though.
oh yeah, they're pricey as all get out, but yeah, you can find them. But I mean, there's a lot of new stuff coming up that people are coming up with too.
What was it that Backus was making there? He was making some sort of add-on CPU upgrade kit or something for, I think it was an SE. I saw on, I think like it was on Discord, maybe?
Might have been. I know he mentioned that on one of my streams. He was working on it. And I know Joe Kim, Sweden, he's working on Will didn't want to say too much, but Joe Kim kind of said that he was working on something for the SE. So I think it was some kind of upgrade. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I tell you, a lot of cool stuff is coming out for these older Macs and stuff. It's really amazing.
Which is awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Stuff that they were never even designed to have, and it just a matter of building these boards that just plug right into it to unplug the old stuff, and yeah.
There you go.
Cool stuff. Bob's your uncle. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all kinds of neat stuff. All kinds of neat stuff.
It's just, yeah. Well, it's just like, on that Plus, I put the from K Koba, I put his a Raminator in there, and that's a neat little upgrade. And it only took me two attempts to get it right, but it's but it gives you a lot more. You have a RAM disk in it, which is boots up super fast. I mean, almost immediately. And you get all kind. You can go in and there's you can change the startup sounds, the icons that start up on the screen, like you have like the Pirate Happy Mac. You get different ones and different sounds. Like mine sounds like a Quadra when it boots up, and you do all kinds of neat stuff with it. And like I said, it's nice having the blue, the external blue SCSI, because we have that diode, so it's all it gets the power from blue SCSI now, termination power. But like I said, when John Big Dibologist gets his internal SCSI thing all ironed out, then that'd be a pretty cool upgrade too to do on that. Because it would be nice to have that all inside rather than hanging out the back. So.
Let's see.
What are you working on the weekend, Dave? Any plans?
Well, just Sunday we'll be doing a stream. Sunday.
Yeah, that's what are you working on?
Well, I'm going to be opening up that thing that the Retrotech Chris sent me.
Okay.
That box of swag that he sent me.
Nice.
And let's see. I'm going to be working on that. Thanks to Frank here, I took one of my old SCSI drives that were dead, and I'm in the process of making it into a clock. So
nice.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to try to get that finished up. I'm going to actually get the movement that I need. I took one out of another a battery out of a clock, but I need the longer one to go through it all the way. because the hands are too close on the. They'd be rubbing the disc. So I want to have something out a little bit further. So yeah. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. So yeah. And then I got what else? I have something else that'll be tinker. Oh yeah, my G4 conversion project. I took a little hiatus from that, so I want to get that.
Right.
Trying to get that finished up. And so, but when I noticed the other day, as I looked, and the keyboard that I had mounted on the acrylic, it came loose. It was hanging down. I go, what the heck? Well, on that hinge on the keyboard itself, it is actually two pieces. And I thought it was just one piece. Well, they separated.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The hinge that's on the lid or the keyboard that would be on the lap book on the Mac, it's all vented, but that is laminated. There's two sections to it. Didn't know that. And the little plastic things that held up broke on the keyboard, not the stuff that I made for it. So what I got to do is I got to sandwich those things back together. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on Sunday too. So it's a good thing I had something underneath of it, because that would have yanked out my cables and on the keyboard and might have jacked them up. So I got lucky on that one. Sam, can someone recap Ryan? What?
Sure.
Retro techie. But yeah, so yeah, I got things to tinker around with. I'm
Cool.
just curious what Chris sent me. So
you haven't opened it yet?
no, he didn't want me to open it until Sunday. So okay. So and it's kind of funny because last Sunday I couldn't stream. I got that the next day, so I got that on Monday. So I guess that was meant to be, right? So there you go.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, awesome.
So I told him, well, it's going to be, and I've already put the video listing up. It's already up on YouTube. I'll send out the invites on Friday. So
awesome.
So you get your links. I'll put them in the Discord for most everybody, and there's only a few that I put in Twitter, but most of them I do on the Discord. So yeah. So what are you gonna be? Are you gonna be able to join this Sunday, Ryan?
Probably. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else planned for Sunday.
Okay.
The cat had surgery, so like I said, we're keeping pretty close to the home base just in case anything happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Shoot.
Well, I have 3 of them. They're all piled up together on the bed right there. They're all laying, and then the other one's just right across from them. So
awesome.
And I think Smirky is underneath the covers over there, so they're all up here. So
did Frank? Did you tell Dave you got a new cat?
Oh yeah, I did. I had it on stream last night briefly.
Okay,
we got a little tiny orange kitty, little miniature Garfield, itty bitty, little bitty.
Oh.
Only about 8 weeks old or so.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yeah, I went and stole her from Liam's bedroom last night, and he came right down and took her back. That's his cat. So yeah, he came down and took her right back up last night. So
yeah. Oh, good. All right.
Yep, she's little bitty.
Yeah.
Her name's Sunshine.
They don't stay little bitty.
Sunshine. Yep. Oh yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Sunshine. That's her name. He calls her Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
Because she's the same color as the sun. That's what he said.
That's cute.
Today it was hilarious. Today he tells me, he goes, "She's eating all of our food." You know, because she keeps wanting to eat all day long.
Sure.
And
Baby.
that's what he kept saying. He was laughing. He goes, "She's gonna eat all our food." I was like, Liam, she eats cat food. We don't
what
even
cats
eat the
do.
same food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said she's probably just happy to have food available whenever she wants it, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah.
I have a quality HP.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, a quality one.
So it is.
And by that I mean it's not quality. It's a consumer grade HP.
Oh man.
Yep. I think I know exactly what the problem is, and I'm not going to be able to fix it.
Uh-oh.
They're locked out of the account, but I bet you they're locked out of a Microsoft account and not.
Uh-oh. Well,
Yeah.
bricked.
Well, I'll have to do a data recovery, get all their files off it, and then set it up again.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, it's my buddy. He's an electrician, and it's his mom's computer, so.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Get some help on some electrical issues later.
Yep, exactly. It's always good to have favors. That's for sure.
Yes, I work like the mob, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, how old of an HP laptop is that?
It's a Ryzen 3, so whenever that was.
Okay.
It's been a couple days.
Yeah.
Let me see. 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019.
Not terrible. Yeah.
No.
I'm going to be heading off here in a minute.
Okay.
I am pooped. This whole week has been again, it's continuing for the second month in a row where every day's a Monday. It seems
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
I definitely do. I need to go see the Daves.
Dave's, yeah. we just want to chat. We
Yeah,
don't really know what it is you actually do here.
Yeah. What is it you would say that you do here? Such a funny movie. Oh my gosh.
Go
Classic.
watch that right now. That's a great idea.
Well, I know that's what I was just thinking. It's I have that somewhere.
It's on my Plex server. So.
Now's a good.
Yeah.
Well, then I can watch it too.
Yeah.
And I got to get this working. As much as I love Joe and want to my raw SCSI,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used it yet.
Oh,
I found
speaking of,
my SCSI, my Raspberry Pi.
I have. So I have something else I should send you.
Oh,
I
you get a
bought.
really big box.
Yeah, no kidding. I bought 2 of these things from Joel. Potato-Fi. He 3D printed them.
Okay.
They're
cool,
for the
dude.
raw SCSI. They're for the raw SCSI.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
And they even have little hard drive light indicators.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Because how many do you have a raw SCSI?
No.
Oh.
No. But I bought him to support his thing. He was making them.
Yeah,
and I was like,
right.
these are so cool. He even made them with the little tiny rubber feet on the bottom.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
he did a
seen
great job
I've seen that
modeling these.
design done in beige to match the actual Mac.
Oh, and I have that color.
You bought the
And
PLA,
now I have a 3D printer.
the PLA for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it PLA or PEG-G?
Well, it's PLA, but it's an RAL color from that Color Labs in the Netherlands or
$100 school.
it was like 50 something with shipping.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Not
Justin's
horrible.
streaming tonight too. I think at 6. So,
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
9:30.
yeah. He'll be streaming here in about 40 minutes, I think.
yeah.
9:30 my time, yeah.
So, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get ready for bed. I'm pooped.
All right.
Cool.
I'll probably
Well,
I
you guys-
might go on the YouTube or something and watch it. I don't know, on the cell phone or something while I'm in bed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
have
don't
a
fall-
great
Don't fall
evening.
asleep and drop it on your face.
Yeah,
Done
I've
that.
done that. I've done it too. I've done it
Thanks
too.
For inviting
But yeah,
us. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. Well,
fun.
thanks for coming on because it's
Yeah.
nice to hang out and chat for a while and
Yes.
do some things.
And
Oh, did you notice my new sign? Oh, sorry. Wait, which way? It's that way, right there.
It's way back there.
oh yeah.
This looks like a wrestling belt.
Yeah. What is
It's
that?
actually it's the Monte Cristo logo. So it's these Cuban
Oh, no
cigar
kidding.
Monte Cristos.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's their logo, and it's done it's done
Hang
in.
on.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
It was made in Cuba, so it's
That's
actually
pretty
made
neat.
and a cigar box. And, it was at an
That's
auction
awesome.
here locally. I was like, I'm having that for my retro room.
That's
I
pretty
love
neat.
I love Monte Cristo cigars. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you
that's
guys
crazy.
can't get them, so that's too bad.
All right.
I don't think you're allowed to have Cubans anymore, are you? 'Cause that one was removed under Trump, right? It was brought back under Obama, and then Trump removed it again.
Yeah,
So
I think
Biden's
we
brought it
are
back.
now or something. I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard to
can't
keep up
remember.
with these things.
It is.
Yep. That's
Cigar
for
flip flop laws. It's
It
terrible.
depends on the way the wind blows.
sure.
But yeah,
Well,
thank you guys so much. I appreciate you
Oh, you're
coming on.
welcome. And I guess I'll see you guys on
Good
Sunday.
to see you
then.
guys.
Sounds
Yep,
good.
absolutely.
Yep.
I'll be there.
Talk to you later.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye. Bye.